welcome back to Coding Stuff. So in this video we'll learn how to use bottom sheets in Android Studio. So there are two types of bottom sheets. First is a model bottom sheet and another is the persistent bottom sheet. So model bottom sheet are the sheets that whenever we want to display it, we can display the sheet by adding some click event on buttons, or we can just display it by adding some animations, swipe up animations. So it's like that. And persistent bottom sheet, it always stays on the screen like we have in the Google Maps. So this is the persistent bottom sheet, and if we click on this start, it will get expand. So this is the persistent bottom sheet. So in the next video we'll learn about how to use persistent bottom sheet, but in this video we'll learn how to use model bottom sheet. So let's fire up on Android Studio and start creating the project. So I have created one empty project here. First we'll just drag one button and one text view. So we'll constrain this button and we'll constrain this text view also. Let's decrease this to 60. Okay, now we have to create one layout for our bottom sheet. So we'll jump to our layout and we'll click on new layout resource file and we'll name it as a bottom sheet layout. And we'll decrease its height to, let's say, 400 dp. Let's decrease it to 300 dp. Okay, and we'll just drag one edit text here and one button. So we'll constrain it and we'll change this button ID to submit button. And this will be edit text. Jump to our main activity and we'll create instance of this two widgets, button and text view. So private button, we'll name it as M button. Private text view, M text view. We have to just import this button, so alt enter and we'll find their ID here. So M button equals find view by ID r.id.button, and this M text view equals find view by ID r.id.text view. And we'll add on click listener to our M button. So M button dot set on click listener, new on click listener. So now we have to add one material design dependency. So we'll just go to Google and we'll search here material design Android dependency, and we'll click on the first link and I will copy this implementation and I will paste it in our Gradle build.gradle module app over here, and we'll change the version to 1.2.0. so 1.2.0, but it is showing some warnings, so we'll just check it, and it is asking me to change to latest version, that is 1.2.1. now I'll click on sync now. It has been successfully synced. So now we have to create one class, so we'll just click on package and new Java class. We'll name it as a bottom sheet and it will extend to bottom sheet dialog fragment. So bottom sheet dialog fragment. So we haven't talked about fragment on this channel yet, but sooner I will upload detailed tutorial on fragment, so make sure you subscribe the channel. So for now, fragment is just a sub activity and it is lighter in weight as compared to activity. So over here we'll just create one method, that is on create view, and here we'll delete this return, and we have to create one view here so we can inflate our layout, a bottom sheet layout. So inflator dot inflate r dot layout dot bottom sheet layout, and here we'll pass container and attached to it will be false, and we'll just return view here. Okay, so now we'll just find IDs of our bottom sheet layout widgets. So edit text and submit button. So edit text, let's name it as m edit text, and we'll use this view find view by id r dot id dot edit text, button m button view dot find view by id r dot id dot it is submit button. We should change this name because I have already given m button name to that variable in our main activity. So we'll just change it to m submit, and now we'll just add on click listener to this button. So m submit dot set on click listener, new on click listener. So what we have to do, we'll just take some input from here, this edit text, and when we click on this submit button, this sheet will be dismissed and this message will be displayed over this text. So for that we have to create one interface, because fragment and activity communication should be you should not be directly, it should use interface. So we'll just create one interface here after this return view. So that will be, let's say, public interface, and we'll name it as bottom sheet listener, bottom sheet listener. And here we have to just create one method, that is void, and we'll name it as on clicked, and we'll pass here string text. Okay, now we'll just create one instant of our bottom sheet listener. So bottom sheet listener, and we'll name it as m listener. So here we have to just attach it to our fragment. So we'll just write here on attach, and here we'll just write one try statement. Let me add some spaces here. So try, and here we'll just write our m listener equals to context, and here we have to typecast it. So we'll write here bottom sheet listener, and we just have to catch it. So catch, and we'll write here class exception, class cast exception e, and we'll just throw here, throw new class cast exception, and here we'll write context dot to string, and concatenate it with interface must be implemented. Okay, so now over here we'll just call this m listener, and we'll just implement this method on clicked. We'll pass here our m edit text dot get text dot to string. So this is it for bottom sheet. Why it's showing error? Okay, I have to place here semicolon. Cool. Now we'll just jump to our main activity, and we'll start writing code here on click listener. So bottom sheet should display after clicking on this m button. So we'll just create instance of this bottom sheet, write it as bottom sheet new bottom sheet, and then we'll just bottom sheet dot show, and here we have to just pass two parameters, that is get support fragment manager, and another is the tag. So we'll use this bottom sheet dot get tag. This is it. We have to write one thing here, in our on-click listener of button, we have to dismiss this bottom sheet. So we'll just write here dismiss, and our main activity we have to implement bottom sheet listener. So implements bottom sheet listener, and it is showing me error and it is asking me to implement the method. So I'll press alt enter and implement on click method. Here we just have to set this text view. So I'm text view dot set text, and we'll pass here text. So this is it. Now we'll just check our app is working or not. So I'll click on this run button and this will install. So yeah, it has been installed. So if I click on this button, bottom sheet is displaying, and if I add here coding stuff, and if I click this submit button, this bottom sheet will dismiss and this text will be set as I have inputted coding stuff. So this is it for now. Make sure you subscribe the channel for upcoming tutorials. Thank you for watching.